Hello and welcome. Please put an introduction in the chat, letting us know where in the world you're watching from today, and also let me know if you're able to hear me okay. Is my audio working? And can you hear me? We need to make sure that's working first of all, right? We're getting some thumbs up, so I think that is a yes. Very good. Wonderful. So it looks like we're going to have a great group of people here joining us today, and I'm so excited that you're here. And so I am Jennifer Zundel, a certified Calling in the One coach, and I support singles just like you to manifest and create the relationship of your dreams by clearing out the inner obstacles that have been keeping love away so that you can become magnetic to love and finally manifest your person. And I'm also the author of the new book called Dear Beloved, Manifesting Love Journal, the daily practices to attract your soulmate. And so I'm very excited to tell you more about that new book later on in the call. We have a fair number of people joining us today who are new to my community. So welcome if this is the first time you've ever interacted with me. And if you're watching the replay later, welcome as well. I want to give you an overview of what we're going to do together today during our hour. So I'm going to be sharing with you, first of all, what I've noticed has been keeping many singles stuck in their attempts to create love in their lives. And what I've seen that are the most essential practices that singles are needing to create change in their love lives. I'm also going to be sharing with you exactly what those practices are that I think singles need to be engaging regularly so that you can attract and sustain the kind of love that you desire. I'm also going to be guiding you through one powerful practice that can support you in many of the ways that we're going to be talking about tonight. And then I'll also be sharing with you about my new book, Dear Beloved, Manifesting Love Journal, since this book can actually support you in creating a daily structure for yourself to bring love into your life. And it can support you with many of the things that we're going to be talking about here on the call tonight. So as well, stay on until the end because I'll be sharing a free gift with you at the end of the call. And if you have any questions as I'm talking, please do put those in the chat and I will be answering those questions at the end of the call and make space for questions at the end. And I do love it when we have an interactive group. So if you have reflections, if you have questions, please do put those in the chat. And periodically, I even scan the chat just to make sure that everyone is really resonating with what I'm saying. That really helps me to get that feedback, right? And we also still have people coming in our wait room. So I'm going to be monitoring that as well, since we have a lot of people signed up for this session today for our Valentine's event. So I want to invite you here as we're getting started to turn your phones off, close the other windows on your computer, and let go of multitasking for the next hour so that you're fully available for this conversation today because your love life matters and your heart matters and this conversation matters. All right. So I suggest as well getting pen and paper because you're probably going to want to take some notes because I'm going to be sharing with you some really key things for transforming your love life. And I'm also going to be inviting you for a little bit of self-reflection as well. So you're going to want to have something to take some notes with. And as I'm getting started here, I would love to start by sharing what I've seen are the biggest challenges for singles who want to find love. And let me know as I'm sharing these challenges that most singles are coming up against. Let me know if you resonate with any of these, all right? So I've seen that many singles have had disappointments in their past love life, right, in their past relationships that have caused them to close off and keep repeating the unhappy dynamics of their relationships. I've also seen that singles are easily overwhelmed with all the things that they could be doing to bring love into their lives that they don't know what to focus on. And some of them have even admitted to me that they feel a bit clueless as to what actions they could be taking to change their love life. And they're also distracted with all the other obligations in their life that they're already committed to. For example, jobs and work and being a single parent and having friends that you want to keep up with and other family members that you want to keep up with. And of course, rest and having fun in your life, right? There are lots of things that we need to focus on in our life. And so this can distract us from what really matters, bringing love into your life. And so all of this internal chaos leads to not creating the kinds of daily habits and routines that could easily allow love to find you. And this causes people to put love on the back burner and to not be taking the kinds of consistent actions that would easily create a miracle in your love life. When the reality is that there are a few simple practices that you can easily make a part of your routine, which would make it much more likely for love to find you. And I also find that people are confused with how manifesting works because they think, they may follow the law of attraction. And so they may think that it's just about thinking happy thoughts, just being a positive person. Or they might think it's about meditating. Or they might think it's about manifesting by writing out your desires a certain number of times every day. And then they think that this is enough to create a miracle in your love life. And the reality is, it's not. That's not enough to create a miracle in your love life. So, can you relate to any of these challenges for yourself? Let me know in the chat. The reality here is that there's a lot more that's required of you for you to truly become magnetic to love. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing about tonight. My work is based on the law of attraction. And this is the idea that we attract experiences, situations, and people into our lives based on who we're being. And so what this means is that if we want to easily manifest love, we need to shift our energy and how we're showing up in the world. One of the most essential keys to easily manifesting love is to get into the energy of already having love and to stay in that energy as much as possible and to take inspired actions from that center where love is for me, love is on the way, this is what I'm here for, to take actions from that center. So the practices that we're going to be talking about here will support you to address all of these challenges that I've just mapped out. The practices will support you to expand your awareness and your belief that great love is possible for you. The practices will support you to break free from old patterns so that you don't have to keep repeating the same unhappy relationships over and over. The practices will support you to know what choices to be making in your life and what actions will naturally move you towards this sense that love is already your lived experience. The practices will guide you to listen to your own intuition and to partner with life and encourage you to follow through in the real world with inspired actions. So, everything I've just mapped out here, does this sound like it could be helpful for you? Again, let me know in the chat. Giving me that feedback is really helpful. And it also lets me know that you're really engaged with what I'm sharing here. The more engaged you are, the more you're going to be taking away new insights and shifts that you can start applying. All right. So, we have a question already. I will be answering questions at the end, but I do want to address that we will not be doing breakout rooms in this hour. I have so much material to be sharing with you that we are going to be full on with what I have to share here. All right. And as well, I should also just address, in case anyone had a misunderstanding here, this is not a mingling event. And what that means is you're not here to match up with other singles. All right. Instead, you're here to look inwards. Everything that we're talking about here is inside. Inside is where we need to put all of our attention here tonight, all right? So all of the transformation that you're wanting is going to happen when you look internally, all right? That's what we're here for tonight, is for miracles. Miracles happen in this conversation, all right? So let's get started, all right? So the essential practices for manifesting love start with the most important thing that you can do to create a miracle in your love life, and that's to make sure that you are centered in your authentic value and connected to your true ability to create the future of love that you desire. Being centered in this deep knowing that you are worthy of love. And not only that you're worthy of love, but you're also powerful enough to change your love life, that you can do that and to change your patterns in your love life. This is the foundation for all of the other practices that I'm going to be talking about tonight. And the reason that this matters so much is because it's very difficult to manifest love on top of a secret fear that you're not worthy of the type of love that you would like to have in your life. If you're going out to meet potential dating partners, but you're centered in this place of non-possibility, then this will only create frustrating experiences for you. And in fact, I see here that I'm just going to address a few things here in our chat room, right? So give me just a minute here. All right. So I just want to keep our focus here, everyone. I want our focus to be on inner transformation here. That's the entire reason that we're here tonight, right? And so I want to keep our chat. Yes, I want you to engage with the chat and I want you to share what's opening up for you. Share what you're seeing about yourself rather than keeping the chat focused on other things that are distracting. All right. So let's see. So I will let you know if I see any type of distraction going on in the chat. I'll just remove those people. All right. So let's see if there is anyone else here that is just not helpful for our conversation tonight. And I agree. We have a comment here. This session is an educational moment. That is what we're all here for. Yes? All right. I think I took care of it. So let us move on. Let us move on. All right. All right. So we are here because your love life matters and you have the power to change your love life. And it's normal that when we are out in the world meeting potential dating partners, if you're not centered in a place of possibility, then this will only create frustrating experiences for you. This can make everything harder than it needs to be, leading to exhaustion, dating exhaustion, self-doubt, repeating more unhappy relationship patterns, and possibly even giving up on having love. And it's normal to get triggered in response to the emotional ups and downs of dating or when something doesn't go the way that we would like it to. It's normal. And yet, how we respond to people and situations when we're feeling self-doubt, nervous, or disappointed then sets in motion what happens next for us because we're creating our own reality. But for the most part, it's all happening outside of our conscious awareness. And so we have to start to make it more conscious so that we can actually see what's going on and what we can start to do to shift it. When we're centered in this place of doubt, where we're doubting that love is possible for us, this can cause us to come to some false assumptions, such as, this must mean I'm always going to be alone, or I'm never the chosen one, or love isn't safe for me, or people only want one thing from me. They just want to take advantage of me and then move on to someone else. And so you see that these negative beliefs about ourselves and others affect our energy, which then affects our facial expressions, our tone of voice, our body language, our posture. It affects everything. And then these negative false beliefs about ourselves continue to affect our actions, our choices, and our behaviors with other people. And so then these stories that we have been unconsciously telling ourselves about what we're going to allow or not allow into our life then become a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy that then has us keep repeating the unhappy dynamics of our past. And so ultimately, these negative thought patterns are creating our relationships. They're creating our reality. And so we have to start to see what's really going on so that we can do things differently. And these false beliefs are not necessarily in our mind, even though I'm calling them beliefs. Instead, they're a felt sense in the body, a way that we start to identify who we are as a person. And so we assume that this is just the way things are for us. This is just the way things are for us, is that I never meet anyone I'm interested in. This is just the way things are for me, is that all the good ones are taken and there's nobody available for me that I like. For example, these are just a few example stories that I'm giving you. And this is what my teacher and mentor, Catherine Woodward Thomas, author of the Calling in the One book, calls your love identity. And when we're young, we tend to create concepts of ourselves in response to situations and things that were happening in our early lives. And we're trying to make meaning of what's happening. We're trying to make meaning about what's going on around us. And we tend to make it mean something bad about ourselves. And so Catherine calls this your false love identity because this is based on a false sense of self, where you might feel at a deep level something like, I'm just not wanted, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not loved. And this felt sense in our body then extends to our sense of who we are as a person. Then this is why we call it an identity. So in response to those early situations, when we assumed those false beliefs were true, we created coping strategies, ways of behaving in responding to situations and to people in order to get through our situation. And yet we weren't fully aware that that's what we were doing. And those coping strategies might have helped us at that difficult time when we were younger, but they're not helping us now as adults to create happy, healthy love. And so when we get anxious or when we experience disappointment, that felt sense in the body will get triggered again. And then the old story gets activated once again, along with the coping strategies. They get activated as well. And this then recreates the same dynamics that we've experienced in our past that we've been trying to change. And this is why it might feel like you're just repeating the same patterns or attracting the same kinds of people over and over in each of your relationships. And so you need to do a pattern interrupt and rewrite this false story that you've been very likely living inside of so that you're available for the kind of relationship that you do want going forwards. An essential practice, since we're talking about practices here tonight, an essential practice is to be checking in with yourself daily and asking yourself what you're believing about yourself and how men or women feel about being in relationship with you, what you're believing about your possibility for happy, healthy love. This is the foundation for all of the other practices that we're going to talk about here tonight. This essential practice is one that you need to engage regularly to support you in manifesting love. And it's very important as well that this practice is really connected to all of the other things that I'm going to be talking about here tonight. Because this false love identity, or when you're centered in the truth of your value, we're going to call that your true love identity. When you're centered in the truth of your value, this is going to support you to really get the most out of all the other practices here. All right. So we also want to start let's move on to another practice, right? I'm going to be giving you many practices here tonight. And as I'm doing this, it might sound a little overwhelming. I'll give you fair warning. And yet I'm going to tie it all together at the end in a way that will make it simple. All right, I'm just giving you kind of an overview at this point. So another essential practice is that you want to be engaging regularly in a connection with a higher power, life, God, universe, and also grow your ability to recognize signs that a higher power is giving you that could be leading you to have love in your life. You want to be growing this ability to have an open dialogue with life and to hear guidance and recognize the signs that are leading you to love. Similarly, you might be surprised by this next one, but you can also start to open up a conversation with your beloved right now, even if you have not met in the physical world yet. You can start to create that relationship now because the reality is that you and your beloved are already connected on the spiritual plane. The connection with your beloved is not constricted by time or space. It goes beyond time and space, right? You're connected at a deep, energetic, spiritual level. And so you don't need to be in the same physical location. You don't even need to have met this person before for the two of you to start communicating. You can open up this conversation and connection now, which will help you magnetize this person to you. So it's an important practice to have a growing ability to have these types of connection conversations with a higher power, with your beloved, and also with your own intuition, because your intuition is a powerful guide to call in love. We want to be asking ourselves daily questions such as, what do I need to let go of today? What do I need to grow in myself today so that I might be ready to receive love? Where do I need to go today? Who do I need to talk to today? What's my next step to bring love into my life? So these are the types of questions that you really want to sit with and allow your intuition to respond to. And we want to be growing our ability to hear our intuition and to connect with our intuition so that you can be led to your person easily, right? I think everyone here on the call knows that you want this to be easy. Not only do you want it to be easy, but you also want it to feel magical, right? And you also want it to be fun, right? And so these are the types of practices that are going to help it be easy, help it feel magical, help it be fun. That's what we want this experience to be for you, right? It doesn't need to be feeling exhausted all the time, where you're just frustrated and you're feeling clueless about what to do next. So I see many singles attempting to manifest love by doing many practices like meditating or having a gratitude practice. And these are wonderful and are definitely part of what I'm suggesting. But the challenge I see is that many people are imagining that those things are enough to bring a soulmate into your life. And to be honest, that's a bit like thinking that you can sit meditating on your couch and that your soulmate will fall out of the ceiling when you do that. It won't happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen like that. Here's the reality. The law of attraction includes the word action. The law of attraction includes the word action. Action is very important in order to get the most that you can from the law of attraction. You have to be following through with action out in the world, not just meditating on your couch, not just having a gratitude practice, all right? So without appropriate inspired action, your ability to manifest is limited. The problem for most singles, though, is that they get confused about what actions to be taking. And this is because they aren't truly connected to life and a higher power or their intuition as their guidance. And so possibly you're starting to see here that all of these practices that I'm sharing are actually connected. They're all interconnected, right? You need all of them working together to really get the most support, the most transformation, the most magic in your life, okay? You'll get the best results as well when all of these types of practices are being engaged regularly, right? Because you're going to start to hear your intuition more the more that you attempt to connect with it. You're going to have a more powerful conversation with life and a higher power when you're regularly attempting to connect with it. So, one of my favorite practices is what I call tracking magic and miracles of love. And the more that we're expecting magic in our lives, the more we'll experience it. So with this practice of tracking magic and miracles of love, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be out in the world looking for magic in your life, looking for moments where something unexpected happened, a synchronicity, something that you weren't expecting, but it feels like a moment of magic. And we have to be expecting these in our life. We have to be looking for them. We have to be looking for miracles. Even small miracles count. And the more that we're expecting these, the more that they're going to happen. The more that we're looking, even for the small things, the more often we're also going to experience bigger miracles. So this is really a fun practice. Here's the reality. Whatever we put our attention on is going to grow stronger. So I encourage you to get into the daily practice of tracking the magic and miracles or synchronicities that come into your life. And in order to call in love, another practice that we want to be engaging is a practice of self-love for ourselves. As you deepen your own self-love, you expand your capacity to receive from others. Self-love allows you to be open-hearted in your connection with others because you're rooted in your value and you're not seeking validation from other people. And so this is what allows you to show up on a date, to show up with someone that you're attracted to and interested in, and fully available to understand if you and this person that you're dating or are interested in are even a good match for a meaningful connection. Because what happens oftentimes is when you're around someone that you like and you're attracted to, possibly you get nervous or you start to worry that they're not going to choose you, and that causes people to act a little strange, let's say, right? To start to behave in ways that aren't helpful and even sabotage the connection. And so we really want to be committed to growing our own self-love so that we're rooted in our own value, no matter whether this person chooses us or not. This is how you can attract someone into your life who truly appreciates you for who you are, not for who you're trying to convince yourself or them that you are, right? So we also, as I mentioned, that yes, we do want to be aware of gratitude. Yes, we do want to have gratitude practices. And it's important to know that gratitude for the present moment, gratitude for the good that's already in our life, gratitude for even the challenges, to be honest. That's what I call radical gratitude. Gratitude in advance, even gratitude for the love that you know is coming to you in the future. And gratitude for that is what I call gratitude in advance. So we want to have a gratitude practice as well, because the important thing to know here is that the vibrational energy of gratitude and for love and abundance that you already have in your life, this is the closest vibrational match to love. And so remember that the law of attraction says that like attracts like. And so what this means is that when you're in the energy of gratitude, it puts you in the same vibrational frequency as love, as what you're trying to attract. And so this is really important to be stepping into this energy of gratitude, which is going to make you magnetic to attracting even more love and abundance into your life. So I also want to encourage you to make it a daily practice to commit right now to creating a wonderful life for yourself, right now today, and make a daily choice of actively pursuing your best life, pursuing your full potential and everything that you know that you're here to become, so that you're not waiting for a beloved to come into your life to give your life meaning. The reality is that when you do this, when you're committed to living your best life now and becoming your full potential, becoming the best version of you that's possible, this is the version of you that your soulmate is attracted to. So you become even more magnetic to your soulmate when you're living in alignment this way. This is what I call your soul desires, living in alignment with your soul desires. So as I mentioned before, I'm just naming right now. I'm giving an overview of the practices that I consider to be essential daily practices. And it might sound like a lot, right? You might even be a little overwhelmed already. And I imagine at the same time, you probably can see the benefit of doing all of these things, right? And yet the question then becomes how? How can you do all of this without being overwhelmed? Especially when you have to work and you probably have family and friends that take time that you want to invest with them. So I imagine that you might be asking yourself, how can you do all of these things when you also have obligations in life? So let me know if that question is coming up for you, right? Let me know. And I'm happy to share with you that this is exactly why I wrote the Dear Beloved Manifesting Love Journal, to give you a structure. And I'd love to support you with that structure, to give you a structure of daily practices that you can do to get into your true love identity, to get into your connection with life and your intuition and your beloved, connecting with the energy of your beloved right now, and knowing what actions can you take? What actions can you take? Um, so I want to remind people here that we're keeping our chat for reflections on what's coming up here about what I'm sharing, right? That's what we're focusing on in the chat. Hopefully you are having some breakthrough moments with what I'm sharing here. And that's exciting, right? Because that is what we're here for. These types of internal breakthroughs is what we're here for. All right. Now, as well, we're going to be doing one practice here, one practice that can support you in many of the ways that we're talking about here. One practice. Would that be helpful if I gave you one practice that would support you with many of the things that I've already been outlining? Because again, right, we're wanting to make this simple. Simple is good, right? And so I am going to guide you through what I'm going to call a visioning love meditation, right? It's a meditation to connect with your own internal space. It's a meditation to connect with your true love identity. Remember, that's your authentic true value where you know that you're worthy of great love. And also, this meditation can support you to connect with the energy of your beloved right now. It can support you to connect with life as a higher power guiding you to love. And it can also support you to connect with your intuition. So, this one practice is really powerful. So we're going to do it together. All right. So if you are in a place where it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. Put everything to one side and close your eyes. Taking a deep breath, breathing as if you could breathe all the way down to your hips and down to your feet, and just letting your body relax into the chair that's supporting you. Stepping back from your thoughts and your mind and all the questions that you might have about how it will happen, when it will happen, who it will happen with, and why it hasn't happened yet. And instead, turn towards your own internal experience, noticing all the feelings and sensations there. If you find any tension, you might breathe into that area and let it go. And so now I invite you to turn towards the part of you that is curious about love, the part of you that knows that somehow this is possible for you, even if you don't know how, and that's okay. This is the part of you that even had you sign up for this call tonight. And so also notice that there is a part of you. Find this part of you that knows I am deeply worthy of a divine love. I came here to love and be loved. You might even repeat those statements to yourself right here, right now. I am deeply worthy of a divine soulmate love. I came here in this lifetime to love and be loved. I am the person that my beloved has already chosen and is already deeply committed to creating a life with. I am more than enough to light my beloved up. My very existence is more than enough. Life in this very moment is organizing around my desire to have love because it serves life for me to have love. It serves life when I have love because I'm able to become my best self. I'm able to become a better friend, a better parent, a better employee, a better person in my community, a role model for other people who have the desire for love. And so, of course, life wants me to have love. And so I invite you to sense that connection with life, feeling the energy of life around you. You might even feel this sense of power that you have to create change in your love life and allow that power to spread through your entire body, even extending out to the edges of the room here, so that you're filling your space with your presence and your energy. So now I invite you to imagine that this person that you have been longing for is already in your life right now, that there's nothing more to do. There's nothing you need to prove. There's nothing you need to become, because this person is already here right now and loves you exactly as you are. And so imagine them standing in front of you. And if you notice physical features, what they look like, just let that go and notice instead the energy that you share with this person. What does their energy feel like? For example, you might imagine them coming up to you and wrapping their arms around you in a warm embrace. And imagine yourself relaxing and melting into their arms. Imagine them rubbing your back. Imagine leaning into their chest and you can smell the freshly washed shirt that they're wearing. And they're stroking your hair. You can feel their cheek next to yours. And you might hear them whisper in your ear, "You're the one I was always waiting for. I'm so lucky that I found you." And what does it feel like to hear those words? What does it feel like to be in your person's presence? What is your sense of yourself with this person? Now let's imagine that you're out on a beautiful day, a beautiful sunny day, doing an activity that you love together. So it's an ideal day. And you're out, it's spring, the air is fresh, the sun feels wonderful on your skin, flowers are blooming as you're walking along next to each other. You can hear your footsteps hitting the pavement as you walk, and you can feel the weight of your beloved's hand in yours. And you can hear their laughter next to you as you're sharing a joke. And what is it that you're going to do together on this wonderful day? What is this favorite activity that you're going to share together? Imagine that you're doing that right now. And what does it feel like to have this person in your life who so deeply cares about you? What does it feel like to have this person who deeply loves you, who supports you, this person who you feel so safe with, who adores you and cherishes you and makes you a priority? This person has your back. You can count on them. So now imagine that you're coming home to the home that you shared together. at the end of your day. And so you're walking into this home that you've created together. What does your home smell like as you're walking in? Maybe you have fresh flowers that your beloved brought you yesterday. Or maybe you have dinner that's already cooking. What is the quality of the light in this home? And now let's imagine that this person, this future you, could turn around and look back at the you who is sitting in the chair meditating. And this person could give you some words of wisdom. This person knows how you got here and knows all the steps that you took. And this person has the wisdom to share with you. So let's ask for some support. Let's ask, what is it that I need to let go of from my life today in order to make room for love? And listen for the answer with your internal ears and your internal eyes that can see something new. What is it that I need to let go of from my life today so that I might be ready to receive love? And what is it that I might need to embrace in my life so that I might be ready to receive love? What is it I need to embrace or grow in myself today? Who might I need to talk to today? Is there someone that might help me? Where might I need to go today so that I might move forwards on my path to bringing this person into my life? Where might I go today? And what's my very next step to bring this person into my life? My next action step that I can take this evening, tomorrow, this weekend, that will bring love into my life. And so now we're going to say a prayer of gratitude in advance to life for bringing this love to us. Thank you so much, life, for guiding me with signs, for showing me the way and giving me the support that I needed. And thank you so much to this wonderful beloved for the way that you show up for me, and the way that you listen, and the way that you care about me. Thank you so much. And we say yes and thank you. And so it is, and so it shall be. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and come back to the call with us. That was a powerful practice, am I right? Please share your experience of this practice in the chat. I would love to get some feedback. How was your experience of this practice? Wonderful, wonderful. We're getting some responses. Great, powerful, wonderful visuals. Thank you for that. I'm wondering if you heard any guidance when we asked the questions at the end about your next steps. Did you hear anything? Now, if you did, it would be great. I mean, that is wonderful when you do, right? And yet, don't worry if you didn't hear anything, because this practice becomes more effective the more that you do it, right? So I see one person here says that you have light tears in your eyes. You know what? That's a very common experience, right? Because it's very moving. It's highly moving. In fact, I often get tears in my eyes just leading it for you guys, right? So I get it. This is highly moving to be able to access this kind of experience. Now, the more that you do this type of practice, the more powerful it becomes. So if you already felt like it was amazing and powerful, the more that you do it, the more powerful it gets. And we want to start to build this practice of being really connected in all of these ways, connected to life, connected to your intuition, connected to your beloved's energy, connected to your gratitude in advance. All of these things are really going to be helpful. So, as a love coach, I have worked with so many singles who deeply want to create love in their lives. And I've seen how easily they get overwhelmed and they feel confused about what actions to take because although this was an amazing practice, this isn't it, right? We actually have to follow through with action out in the world. We can't just sit at home meditating, thinking the soulmate will fall from the ceiling when we do that. Instead, we need to be taking the actions as well, okay? So we can't get distracted by life's demands and unsure of how manifesting really works because this leads people to put love on the back burner, unsure of how to make progress. I've seen firsthand that without simple, consistent, regular practices that it's hard to maintain having love as a priority. And that's why I wrote the Dear Beloved Manifesting Love Journal, because it's designed to simplify the process for you and to support you in making small, impactful, regular daily practices a part of your routine so that it's easy for you. And it will help you, the book here will help you expand your awareness and stay grounded in the belief that love is already on the way for you. But this journal is not just about positive thinking. It's about connecting with your intuition as your guide and taking inspired actions out in the world and cultivating the daily habits that will magnetize your soulmate into your life. So I would love to share more with you about the book. So let's see. We have here, all right, so the book, Dear Beloved, Manifesting Love Journal, the daily practices to attract your soulmates. All right, so this is a journal that creates a 13-week guided structure for you to connect with your desire for love daily, and it will support you to take the actions out in the world to bring it into your life. So I want to share with you a little bit about the format of this book, right? So it's divided into a morning practice, and the morning practice will set you up for your day to go well so that you're centered in the right energy, which is your true love identity. Remember your authentic value and your worthiness, where you know this is who I am. I came here for love. And it's my beloved wants me with every fiber of their being and is looking for me right now, and you truly trust that. You truly trust that life is supporting you. And you also then get connected to your intuition and connect and ask, what actions do I need to be taking today? Who do I need to talk to today? Where do I need to go to today? Is there something I need to let go of today? What are my next steps today? And what inspired actions am I taking today? So on one side here, we have our morning practice, right? And so the morning practice has these few prompts here to help you connect with those aspects in the morning so that your day is set up to go well. And then in the evening practice is primarily about reflection about how the day went so that you are not skipping over things, right? We're actually bringing them into our conscious awareness. For example, what magic did I see today? Am I tracking magic and miracles of love that I can see that they might have felt like synchronous moments, but they're actually signs that life is trying to give me about whether I'm on the right track, if I'm showing up doing the right things, or what I might do next. We also do want to be having a gratitude practice. Remember, I'm suggesting that that is part of getting into the vibrational energy of love that will make you more magnetic. We also do want to be reflecting on how am I really committed to my own self-love and growing that. We also do want to be getting into action about living our best life and connecting with our soul desires, because remember, that's the version of you that your beloved is attracted to. When you're this radiant, vibrant, energetic being, that's easily going to magnetize them. So in the evening, there are a fair number of evening prompts that will help you reflect on your day and set you up for the next day to go well. And then at the end of 7 days, because it's the same practice for 7 days, right? And then at the end of 7 days, there is a weekly review, which again has more prompts, right? That are inviting you to really reflect. And this is one thing that I notice with my work with singles that they are missing is that they aren't really pausing and reflecting enough. And what I mean by that is acknowledging the shifts, the insights, and the progress that may otherwise go unnoticed in a really busy life. And this is one of the things, doing this practice of weekly reflection is one of the things that will keep you motivated with your own daily practice, motivated during challenging times. Maybe a date didn't go well. And how do we reflect on that date so that we stay committed to manifesting love rather than getting thrown off track just because we had a difficult experience, right? We need to stay committed. This is essential if you want to manifest love fast. And this is what I'm here to help you do is change your love life fast. So one thing I often see with singles is that they get stuck in black and white thinking. And what I mean by that is they evaluate their progress in one of two ways. Either I have my soulmate in my life or I don't. That's what I mean by black and white thinking. And when this is the only way of measuring progress, it can make it harder to manifest love. And instead, it's much more helpful to be intentionally reinforcing all the progress that you're making and continuing to make every week, every day, and noticing all the shifts that you're making, because this is going to support more of that to keep happening, right? It's going to help you move along the path. So these weekly reflection questions are meant to support you with reviewing the shifts and the insights that and the progress that has been happening that week so that you can, up level it every week. So I have put a lot of thought and love and care into creating a structure that would best support you to create the love that I know you desire. And I've even reached out to a few singles in my community, and I had them test the book out and give it a test drive to share their experience with me so that I could get some feedback and make any adjustments that were needed so that it's really supportive of what you're needing. So I had a woman on the call yesterday, right? Because this is the second night I have been sharing about the book on a webinar. I did 2 of these Valentine events. And so I had a woman on the call yesterday who shared about her experience here. And I believe that I have set up a video here that I'm going to share here so that we can hear what she has to say about her experience of using this book for 1 month. So let me see if I can get that set up. Hopefully it will work well. Sometimes I have troubles with Zoom technology. Hopefully this will work well though. All right, so this is Jane. And Jane is going to be sharing about her experience of using the journal for 1 month. So hopefully you'll be able to hear the sound.
I felt so fortunate to be one of the test drivers of this. And I was surprised because it's not a tool, it's a companion. And it's become like a best friend that every day, in the morning I write and in the evening I write. And my writing is evolving and it's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And I just feel like that it's this companion, it's my best friend, we're in this together. And I'm seeing so many more of what Jennifer talks about of how life is for me and how things are happening and I'm manifesting it. And it's not giving me confidence, it's giving me knowing. And I know that I'm on the right track because it just keeps focusing me more and more and more and more. I know I'm on the right track. I know that love is, it's my one of my identity, and my identity statement keeps getting better and better, but my one today is I am lovable, loved, and loving. And it's like now I can really feel it now in my body. And these practices have just been amazing. The journaling and what it's showing me is this mirror of my value. every day I read it and I write it, it's mirroring my value to me. So it's very much a two-way street. I know that may sound silly because it's you're writing it, but it really feels very alive and expanding for me. My life is exciting now, and meeting people and it's already here. It's already here. And I'm not saying it's perfect because I'm on two dating sites and someone will stop communicating with me and I'm like, oh, that just means they're somebody else's match and they're clearing the way for my match. So it's really shifted my focus and my perception of this whole process of love coming my way. It's so fun right now doing this. I'm so grateful to have it.
All right, that is so inspiring for me when I hear people having that kind of experience after just a few weeks of using the journal, right? It's more fun, as Jane was saying. She's more centered in her own authentic value. She is having this experience of her value being mirrored back to her. And she's also a lot more present and flexible for meeting people, it sounds like, right? She's having experiences of meeting people. And if it doesn't work out, she's not getting overly attached to it or disappointed. She's staying committed to her desire for love, knowing this is happening. This is how to manifest a miracle, people. This is how to create love in your life, okay? So I would love to share about you with you how you can get the book. I'm so thrilled that this book is available and finally here, and I can't wait for you to get it. And while the paperback is taking a little bit longer than expected, as I was expecting it to be approved by today, and it's taking a little bit longer due to Amazon's process. So there's a slight delay for the paperback. But the ebook is already available. So you can get the digital version today. And for those of you who love putting pen to paper and using the physical journal, that is going to be available definitely in the next few days. And the moment that it is available, I'm going to be sending out a special announcement so that you can be one of the first people to get it. But the most important thing here is to get started with the process. And so that's why I'm excited that the ebook is available now so that you don't have to wait to start transforming your love life. And if you are going to be using the ebook, then my recommendation would be to use a separate notebook for your thoughts or maybe a journaling app or something like that to track and write down your reflections each day. So this journal, though, is meant to be a hands-on practice, right? It's meant to be used daily, and it's something that you can get started with right away. I do want to as well um, let you know, in fact, before I move on, I'm going to put a link in the chat where you can check out the ebook and get the details, and you can purchase the ebook. You can get started with that now. And there's also special pricing right now during the book launch. So the ebook is only $4.99 and during the book launch. It will be going up in price later, but for now, during the launch, it is a special pricing. I also want to let you know that the format of the book, because you might have some questions like how do I do the journaling, right? How do I do the sections? So at the beginning of the book, there are many pages of explanation, right? There are example of what other people might say in the in as they're doing the practice so that you have some idea of the types of things that people might answer for these prompts. And there are lots of explanations like how do you do a visioning love meditation and how can you start to transform your love identity? There's many pages about that in the book, right? So there's about 60 pages of text, like a real book with instruction and explanations about how to do the practice, right? So that by the time you get to the journaling portion, you know and you're comfortable with how it works and how to start answering and applying, right? So there's lots of instructional, explanational material at the beginning of the book here, right? So this journal is meant to be a sacred space for you. I truly want this to feel like you're connecting with magic as you're writing in the book. Like seriously, it's moving to me to make me to have it to think that you're using the book like that, right? So I want it to be a sacred space for your heart's deepest desires to come to life. All right. So I mentioned as well that I would be sharing a gift at the end of the call. And so the gift is that I'm going to be adding you to my email list. And in the first email that you get from me, there is going to be a recorded version of the Visioning Love meditation. So you can keep doing that on your own using the recording. And I know that you're going to like that. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from that recording. And so do keep an eye out for that first email from me where you can access that recording. You can even download the recording and have it on your phone or have it on your computer or something like that. And so do be looking for that email. And as well, you're also going to be getting more information as soon as the paperback is available so that you can get your own paperback version and get started with the journal right away as soon as that's available. So keep an eye out for those emails. And I see lots of people saying that it sounds like you've had a lot of great insights and experiences here on the call since I'm seeing a lot of people saying thank you. I've loved sharing this time with you. I will be taking some questions if anyone has questions, and I'm going to scan through um, the chat here to see if there's any questions that I can answer. Someone asked how much is the paperback version? So I'm going to be offering discounted pricing for the first few days that the paperback will be available. And so initially, if you get it during that window, it'll be $12.99 for the paperback. Later, it's going to be going up though, right? So I definitely want to encourage you to get it early. And especially when we get it early, that also helps Amazon flag the book as something that people want and need, right? And so we want to make this a bestseller because I think it really does deserve to be a bestseller. And I think we're going to support other people to get it into their hands too. The more that people really see that this book is providing something to people, the more that Amazon is going to promote it as well. And so that's really what I want to happen here. I really am meant to be sharing this with people. Let's see. Um, this is a great question. So, someone says, are affirmations good to do as well for manifesting love? I do not recommend affirmations, and let me explain why. So, affirmations are nice thoughts, they're positive thoughts. They might feel good, and yet the reality is there's a part of you deep internally that knows they're not true yet. They're not true yet. And so there's this kind of inner fight going on because there's a part of you that doesn't fully believe those affirmations. For example, I'm now living the life of my dreams with my soulmate. That's a nice affirmation, right? And we might like the feeling of that. It might feel really good. And yet there's a part of you that says, yeah, well, where is he? He's not here right now. I'm not living the life of my dreams with my soulmate. So there's a part of that when we're using affirmations, there's a part of us that's trying to fight to get us to believe those things. And instead, what we're doing with this material here, this true love identity, are statements that are true. They are already true. We don't need to convince ourselves that they're true because at our deep core being, we already recognize them as true, which is why we call it your true love identity. It is true, right? It is true. And so in the book, I explain a lot more about this true love identity and how to shift into that energetic center. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me see if there are a few other questions that I can respond to. It sounds like people really liked the meditation. Yes, yes. In fact, um, my mentor, Catherine Woodward Thomas, creator of the Calling in the One program, has told me that she would follow me anywhere for my meditations. So yes. Um, I would recommend meditating daily. I would recommend doing a visioning love meditation daily if you have the space for that. Even if it's only, you know, 10 seconds where you're closing your eyes and just imagining how good that would feel, how amazing that would feel. Now, a visioning love meditation is a type of meditation. Obviously, there are other types of meditation too that are also valuable, which I could also recommend. So each of them might have a different type of purpose. So I think it might be depending on what's your purpose in that moment for a meditation. And so then it might help you choose what type of meditation you would want to do. Some of these comments are making me smile. All right, let's see, scrolling back down here. All right. Thank you everyone so much for being with me this evening. It's been an honor, and I look forward to having you in my community and to connecting with you further. Do keep an eye out for those emails with the meditation and also with information about the upcoming paperback that should be available any day. One more time, I will put here in the link to the ebook where you can go and get started, which is the most important thing to get started. All right. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Bye for now.